Sup, y'all? Doing things a little different this time. Backwards, to be exact. Because we're already where we need to be. Ride with me. Talk with me. It's easier that way. So you heard correctly. We're already where we need to be for this video. For now. More traveling to come. But where is that, you may ask? Some of you may ask. Others may already know where we are. Just based off the look. The fact that we've been here before. Because you smart. But anyway, we are in Vermont. Again. Per usual. But with a purpose this time. Multiple. Plural. So, purpose number one being that my folks and children are in Ireland for the next 2 weeks. Yep, that Ireland. So, they needed somebody to house and farm sit. There's a lot of animals. While they were gone, aye, Captain. Anything for the household. Even though I don't live here anymore. Purpose number two, which is also another reason why I might opt to stay and not go to Ireland. Clearing land. Cute property. So purpose number two. I sold the RV. But that's worth celebrating in itself. There's two things in this world, RVs and boats. They say the happiest days of owning an RV or a boat are the day you buy them and the day you sell them. I understand that now. Let me explain. For those of you that might be wondering why, after searching so long for the perfect RV, I might want to sell it.
What madness has infected your head?
They're a lot of work. It's a lot just to drive, own, and keep. Think of it this way. If you don't have the room where you live, you might very well end up paying just to keep it and store it somewhere. And then assuming you don't live in one of the few states in this country that don't experience snow or any cold weather at all, you're gonna have to winterize it and de-winterize it in order to use it again in the spring. So that's expensive. And just the upkeep, things break all the time. I mean, if you're a millionaire, if you win the lotto, check me out. Like, just go buy one of those brand new $100,000 ones. That'd be awesome. Understand, if you use it, you're never going to get your money back, but I think that's the way to do it and know you're not going to break down and blah blah blah. Anyway, enough about the cons of owning an RV. Those are just things you should consider if you too were thinking about ever having an RV. I think it'd also be different if you don't own a home and you're thinking about living out of it. Then that's like a tied expense. You see what I'm saying? But paying for a home, cars, and then an RV on top of it, I hope you're rich. That's all I can say. So anyway, this is gonna be a fun ride while we talk. Enough about the cons of owning an RV. The pros, one of the big pros, I'll just mention the main one, and it's why I obviously got into it and bought an RV. I had an idea, right? I wanted to be able to travel with all my fur babies, all my toys, go to these different and weird, crazy places, and know that everything's safe, locked up in an air-conditioned or heated, climate-controlled environment, right? Well, you can't take that RV just anywhere. It's so big. Oh, rocky stuff. It's fun, don't worry. I'm not trying to whine and complain about the fun stuff. I should be flying through it, but we're on the little mini dirt bike. And the chain is entirely too tight. I gotta hope nothing breaks this far from home. Joys of riding a razor, I suppose. God dang. Anyway, we're gonna have to turn around and go back up that too. We did not lose sight of that idea. We did not give up. We just changed gears, figuratively and literally. Check it out, I bought a new whip. You guessed it, a van. A 2023 Chrysler Pacifica Limited. Nothing special, but hold up while I show you a thing or two. Obviously, this is going to be great for the karts too. Now, I don't know how many may or may not remember, but it wasn't exactly one of my most viewed videos anyway. I've actually had one of these as a rental before. I don't want y'all to see my plate, but having all of this on the key fob is amazing. And it's almost like it was made for karts. It's just Perfect. Cart goes down in here, put your tool bag over there, it ain't going nowhere. Those seats do fold flat though for stow and go. Check this out. That stow and go seating I was telling you about. That was another reason why I wanted the Pacifica, because it gets flat. Those fold back into that cubby-like hole that's actually down a little bit, and these two will fold flat too to create a completely flat surface back here. It just leaves so much room, whether it's a bike and a couple of carts or 2 bikes or just me and my things. Lots of room for activities. Now I've been eager to show you all this. It's dirty on the outside, but I just vacuumed in here, so. Now I did get this used, slightly. So now that we're turned on, AC's on, right? Check this out. Not only do we have heated seats and steering wheel, we've got cooled seats. If I can hit the button. High and low, passenger and driver. And I thought it was really cool. Even the back seats have heated seats. Not the very back row, but the middle row. Heated seats even for the middle row. And I've never seen this before. It will actually charge your phone wirelessly. You just set it down there. It does get a little hot over time though, so I've gotten used to just running a cord anyway. But it's pretty cool to have that Uconnect. Just turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and it connects to this. Get your Apple CarPlay, Google, whatever, Android Auto. We're Team Apple over here, so I don't even know what that is. Now I obviously could have gotten many kinds of vehicles. I thought about it. But I really don't have a need for 4-wheel drive. If I was to get a truck, I'd need a cap on it. This is just perfect for me. Perfect. So as you just saw, we did not give up on the idea. We did not give up on the dream. We just changed gears. But now, we're definitely gonna get to some places with the Surron, the Razors, and the carts. But some of you might be asking, TJ, did you really stack your Surron and Razor in there? And your cats? And everything you'd need for 2 weeks? No. So after I got it, I took it to U-Haul pretty soon after. Oh, that's right. That U-Haul. And got a 2-inch receiver, trailer hitch installed. Good to go now, right? We ended up getting this rack first. And, you know, although I'm sure this would work for a lot of other situations, it was just too low on my van. I mean, I had like maybe 4 inches, 5 inches of clearance before loading bikes on it. Then I got to putting bikes on it and I was like, holy crap. So yeah, that didn't work out. $280 rack, brand new too, that I can't use. So I'm gonna try and recoup my money from it, sell it used for a little bit cheaper. Hardly used, only loaded up, 0 miles, assembled. But like I said, it's not exactly the end of the story. It is where things took a turn. This is where velocity volts comes into play. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I know this rack is expensive, I'm aware, but it's a nice rack. Hold on. Yes, very expensive rack, but very nice. And I'll tell you what, the peace of mind that comes with knowing my Surron is on the back the right way and secure, I'll pay good money for that. Definitely. Whew. The sense of security I get from this rack is like no other. Like, this bike ain't going nowhere when it's on there and latched on there correctly. Now the Razor fits in the back a lot easier, and so do the carts. Like, just lay everything flat in there. It's all stow and go for a reason. I actually had a hard time finding vans that went completely flat in the back, and that's why I got the one I got, and not like a Honda Odyssey or, you know, something else. I can fit anything inside there. I could fit the Surron in there, as we have before in a rental. It was a hybrid, but same thing. Anyway, it'll fit, but you don't have much room for much else. So in order to get here the way I wanted to, in style, kinda, soccer mom style, with all my things, I needed a rack that was gonna work, at least for the Surron. Get the big one out of the way. I wanted it secure on the back. So I can't tell you enough how awesome this rack is. I already put 580 miles on it getting here, but I don't know about y'all. I kind of had enough of this Vermont thing by now. And my parents are home, and my kids, so let's hit the road. Right after I demonstrate how this rack goes on and how awesome it is. Psych. I ain't gonna make you watch that boring drive. We're already back in Pennsylvania. Y'all have seen that drive a million times by now, if you're subscribed. But you are, however, gonna have to watch that install and a different trip that we haven't made a million times. So here we have the rack and everything we need. We'll get to it as we go. And it's really that easy. Once you get the pin in, which if y'all have had a hitch long enough and have enough attachments, you already know what I'm talking about. Another thing I'm gonna recommend everybody gets is one of these hitch tighteners. Not only does it keep everything nice and stiff, that's its primary use, less bouncing, but this one has a little bit of lift in it, like they all do. Like $7 on Amazon. Links below as always. So you do need a wrench if you're doing that. If you're not, no worries. Your Velocity Volts rack will come in two pieces. The square does not come connected to the L, if that makes sense. But all with a long bolt and wing nut, which are provided. All hardware provided. They mount right together. That's the first time I've ever been able to tighten it in like 1,200 miles now. A little bit of movement, but I think that's on purpose. And these plug up to the pegs. Let me show you. One more thing to note, if you have drop pegs, like I do, I think mine are 20 or 30 millimeters back and lower with prickly pegs, they're not going to sit evenly on top of this like they normally would, and the hook goes kind of like outside of the peg. In this case, you do it like this. But it's nice to know it works with drop pegs. The second you move the pegs back, you all of a sudden have to wonder, now this is really just added stability. That's all this is for. I would argue it's not even really necessary at this point because this bike ain't going nowhere. But we're going to use it because it's recommended. There's extra holes everywhere so that you kind of get to choose which way you want to mount your bike up. Should be good. Let's go. Real quick, before I do, I just want to mention how this will fit the stock Surron, the stock Ultra B, Light B, all the Talarias and E-Rides, definitely the RTR, according to them, email correspondence back and forth, and I've witnessed the Pro Spec from Razor. If you've watched enough of a certain somebody's videos, you have too. But more bikes to be determined. I actually suspect the RSF will work because it too has a wide motor plate. The MX, not so much because it's a thin 1-inch steel bar for the front of the frame. And then I put drop pegs that are like an inch and a half lower on my MX, so it definitely doesn't work with these. The distance is too great, not enough balance in the front, and the pegs are too far down and back. Bike ends up sitting even worse than this is. made it. This officially makes 1,250 miles on the Velocity Volts Surron carrier. Let's see how she do. Yeah, like no movement. It appears that this stuff works too. But again, thank you for staying tuned until the end. New vehicle, new Surron carrier. Lots more to come to this bike and all the other bikes and all the carts. Want to know where I am? Then you'll have to stay tuned. Till next week. Again, I appreciate y'all.